Today we're checking out the firmware 250 for the Mooer GE1000. Last week, the beautiful people of Mooer, they launched a firmware for their new so-called flagship, which is called the GE1000. And I've installed that and opened the editor for you. So it's here. And today I would like to check that firmware out and let's see if they address some of the bugs the unit had. I was playing around with that unit in some other videos. Please check out my first impressions of that unit, and there were some bugs. I don't know if they were in the editor, but at least if you're using the PC editor here, and sometimes it was not in sync with the actual unit. So there was, I think, something not that stable when using the PC editor. So I hope they address that. Anyway, let's briefly check out the README that came with the update. So they added 4 new OD models. Let's start with these. Rod 881, Red AT. Okay. So here I'm using the 808, as you can see. But let's switch to the new ones. They're here at the end. So Rod 881. Also, this is maybe new that there is the information here popping up if you're changing the block. Sounds a little bit too harsh for me. Maybe let's reduce the gain here a little bit. Okay. Let's compare it to the next one, right? 80. Let's turn off the delay. My experience with the Mooer drive blocks is that you don't have to crank the volume. Instead, you should use maybe a little bit of gain with some of the blocks at least. Sounds quite nice. For me, boosting an amp is mostly boosting the mids, so I'm in most cases good with the good old 808, but if it gets too harsh or too bass heavy, then it's definitely the wrong booster pedal for me. But this one here, the Red 18, sounds quite nice. Let's see what else. OD. Okay, this has a lot of bass in my opinion, and also too much gain. Unfortunately, here you don't have the 3-band EQ, as in the GE300, which I'm using live. You had the bass middle treble control in the stomp block, and here you have only the tone control. Okay. And this is not working that well with my preset BEOD. Okay, this has a ton of gain. Still a ton of gain. Okay. Maybe here we should reduce the gain in the amp way more. What happens if we turn off the amp here? Okay. Maybe it's better to use that with an amp. But there's really a ton of gain. It's maybe not an OD pedal instead, it's more or less a drive pedal. So for boosting I would prefer other blocks, to be honest. My go-to, as I said, is the 808. And another one which I like pretty much here is the Riot. But that is not new. Okay, they added four new stone pedals here. Nice, they sound decent, but not that much of an improvement in my opinion. So add 10 bass preamp models, okay, but we can check these out, but I will not play them because I'm not a bass player at all. Let's see. Up here in the classic, no. Bass, they added this. Oh, okay. Here you can see, for you bass players out there, here you have the models that are new. And maybe also in the cab section. Bass, yeah. Really not familiar with bass sounds, so sorry, I will not check these out. So let's go back to the initial state. Now we can go to another preset. Okay, let's see what else did they do. Added a harmony effect model. That is something where many people are interested in, I think. So let's see if we can find that. Maybe here, harmony. There it is, harmony. I would place it before the cab usually, because I'm using a high cut in the cab section. And that should be applied to the harmony line as well. I don't know if you can hear it. It sounds almost perfect. I don't know if the guitar is exactly tuned to 440 Hertz, but if you are not bending the strings, then it works. But as soon as you bend the string a little bit, it goes out of tune. So I don't know. Usually that shouldn't be the case. I don't know, I think they have to do a little improvement here. The tone itself is okay, and there's no latency. But as soon as you bend the strings, and with bending I don't mean that you have to bend the string to a half step or a whole step. Even if you're just using a little bit of a vibrato, it's jumping back and forth. Hard to explain, and I've never experienced that with the harmonizer effects of other units. So even in the GE300, the harmonizer seems to work better than in this unit here. Okay, so let's see what else. They added 7 AI EQ types. Well, I've just released a video about the AI EQ. So please check that out if you're interested in using that. But what they did basically is you have to use the AI EQ master here. I cannot select it now because maybe I'm using too many effects here. Let's delete some. So, and as you can see here, there is an EQ curve applied to the sound. If I engage it, it sounds like that. And usually you can choose here the genre you're playing. I think it's not working now. That was the sync problem I was talking about before. So let's try to go to another. Okay, let's use this patch here. We have the angle power ball, and let's try out our, if we are lucky with the AI EQ master here. So you can choose the genre, for example, metal, of course. By the way, metal and pop and rock was there before, I think, so they added, they said they added some new genres, so that might be funk and jazz and also different types here, clean, drive, and distortion. So let's choose maybe metal distortion. As you can hear, this sounds a little bit too much in the lower mids. So let's see if we engage this. We have to play a little. And it ended up with that curve. And it sounds more scooped as expected. Also was cutting the highs here. But I can see this or hear this sound working much better in a metal production. But without the EQ, it might be a little bit better in a live situation. But anyway, it's a nice feature, I think, at least if you would like to get a good starting point for your EQing. And also, oh, it removed it again. That was not on my purpose. Maybe another bug in the editor. So maybe let's do it again here. Let's try out a rock. Oh, they added drive 2 and distortion 2. Okay, let's check out it's not working. Nice. Okay. It sounds a little bit too much here in this region. So what we can do is we can change that by ourselves. And also I don't like this spike here that much. So let's try to reduce that a little bit. So as you can see, it's basically a complicated EQ curve that was computed by the unit, by the AI. And you have 5 bands here, which you can also use to adjust. And here you have the graphic EQ representation of these bands. So it's nice if you don't know how to dial in these parametric EQs by yourself. And you get a good starting point. I think this AI EQ master is really helpful for many people. And I personally don't use it that much because I know how to dial in my favorite tones. But I can see the point why they added this, and I think it's useful. So that was a good choice, Mooer. And what else? Then they said they added parameter settings for the volume pedal and able to replace. Okay. I think I don't check that out now because I don't use the volume pedal at all. Optimized input signal delay issues. Yes. That is a thing. I was irritated about that actually because I tried that unit and sometimes I felt like it had a little bit of latency, but sometimes not. So I didn't know why that was the case. I thought it was because of the noise gate, and I placed it way after the amp. But here, with after this update, I could use the noise gate as I would use it here in front of the amp, and there's no latency. So I think that was also, that was also a good choice. Of course, removing bugs is always a good choice. Optimize expression pedal latency issues. Okay, fixed issue with the volume knob not being read at startup modified. Various bugs. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the expression pedal latency issues. That was a thing that was also talked a lot about, especially when people wanted to use the Whammy, and I put out a video with me trying out the Whammy in that unit, and I was really disappointed because the Whammy had, first of all, it had a latency that was really huge, so quite unusable, and also it was jumping from one note to another. You could hear it, and it didn't sound like a proper Whammy. So I think it's in the poly shift here. They said they addressed it because people were complaining about that. And yeah, we have to use the expression pedal. Let's see, I have to do it by my hand now, with my hand. And you go here to 1 octave up. Oh no, sorry. 1 octave up. And I calibrated the pedal before. Okay. See if I can get this activated. Okay, there it is. That's really nice. Okay, of course I have to set the mix to 100%. Yeah, the latency is definitely much better. It's still there a little bit, but I think it's tolerable now, so I think you could use it. But the notes are still jumping. So it's not smooth. The tone is not smooth. So that is something which, well, they should work on, I think. My opinion, it's still well, questionable if you would like to use such a tone in a live situation. Sorry, that is my FOH tone. By the way, I will release a preset pack for that unit as for all the other modeling units you know. If you would like to get these preset packs, please contact me on Facebook or Instagram. Links are in the description below. And there's another feature which they added, which is not controllable with the PC editor, but that is they added the multiple, how do they call it, sub-patch, I think, where you can control multiple effect blocks with the one foot switch. So it's basically before you had the stompbox mode. If you hit the activated preset again, then you are in stompbox mode, and then you can assign the 4 foot switches of the unit to engage or disengage different blocks in the effects chain. And now you can assign more than one block to 1 foot switch in that mode. And that is something which also the GE300 had, but it's not the same like a scenes feature, because as I explained in many videos, it's just changing the states. So if you are coming from a state where the 808, for example, is already active, then if it was assigned to the foot switch 1 and you hit it, then it will be disengaged. And as if you're coming from a clean preset where it might be disengaged, then it will be engaged. So that is really confusing, especially if you're using more than one block. So I personally prefer the scenes feature, so that every time you hit, for example, button 1, then the exact same effects will be active. And yeah, but maybe that will come in the future. I don't understand why they didn't bring that, because it's really it's really way easier to use than this sub-patch feature here. But I was also waiting for that update for the scenes feature in the GE300 and still didn't come. So yeah, if you hear this more, please give that a try. It might be very easy. You just have to check if an effect is engaged and then do nothing if it should be activated in a sub-patch. Anyway, please post your comments below as always, and consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell, it helps me really a lot. And other than that, see ya.